I don't. Well, Taylor Ann, did you capture those? The whale scours or the
yeah, I've been taking captures and notes of it.
And the DSC maybe was going?
Yeah, I'm sure that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we're taking, we should be taking a high resolution still photo every 30 seconds throughout the entire dive.
And Taylor Ann's firing away at will, so.
Thanks for
Thank
that.
you.
We have Andrew Thurber's Super Razzmatazz DSC. Steve can tell you about the camera in it. I know all I know is it's a Sony.
Super duper megapixel.
Super duper. Takes forever to download the pictures.
All right. Thanks for the Zoom and the sediment.
So I think if we want to move onward, we'll go east.
Nice footprint. Cookie
Yes.
cutter.
Thank you.
Just gonna, hey, any food left?
We were here.
You want me to start that move?
Yeah.
Play chess on that.
100 meters east. Thank you.
Feel I'm being stalked by a fish.
So that'll kind of take us to the base of this cone and right around A11, and then so probably around when we're handing over the watch, they'll be able to climb from the base to the peak.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
For them.
You want to click in one on the brow camera? I've never seen these guys feeding.
Nobody eats down here.
Nobody eats down here. I can't figure it out.
How do they survive?
Don't eat, fish don't eat.
Yeah.
I don't know what a whale would be chasing down here. These guys?
This guy, maybe.
I think they primarily eat squid.
Yeah, squid.
Squid. The grenadier? Or the whales?
The whales.
The whales.
The whale. And I think the grenadier mainly eats dead whales, right?
Grenadier will eat anything they can get their hands on. But they do eat a lot of mollusks. But they're scavengers. They're roaming scavengers. So.
They keep the seafloor cleaned up, do they?
Yeah, the beaked whales end up with a lot of scars from their prey, from squid, and also from each other. They have protruding tusks, modified teeth, and so they end up with a huge number of scars on their body, which is why when I was saying that I saw individuals on the surface and that I could keep track of the order they were in because they're so uniquely marked. They're really obvious, but a lot of that is from the squid.
Argus hasn't moved yet. It's about 5 minutes now.
In a couple minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah, probably like 2. I think it's a 5+ minute endeavor.
A surprising amount of current down here.
There have been recent years where the Humboldt squid are abundant off our coast here. And a few years back, we were actually sampling for Humboldt squid. We were doing fishing with heavy fishing gear and glow-in-the-dark lures, hunting for Humboldt squid, and we were not able to catch any, but they were here. So I imagine that when they are here, the beaked whales, that would be a good meal item for them because they're pretty big. I'm assuming the whale would win, but those Humboldt squid can be voracious predators themselves.
Yeah, they're funny and they chase our lasers. And like if the laser hits a little pebble, they'll pick the pebble up and then get angry and throw it. Hilarious.
What's this thing?
Almost as entertaining as hurting cats with a laser.
Yeah.
There's a deep scour, what looks like to the left of Herc, Argus view. What was that little puff?
Cream puff.
Puff, little guy.
It's a good jelly.
Chocolate covered cream puff.
Oh yeah, that's what they had those on the table today, didn't they?
I know, I had like 6 of them.
Oh, jelly.
Maybe could be convinced that Argus is starting to move, but it's so...
The ROV imprint still relatively the same spot.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm watching, those like bumps in the front of this top of the screen. Starting to go crazy.
Oh, we were here.
Yeah. So that's a good 5 minutes. What is our speed? Oh, that's why. Bridge nav. Increase speed to 0.5. Thank you. I don't know why they had that.
Oh, we started out at its default. So.
It's weird though. I think they slowed down because they changed the heading. Slow the adjust speed.
yeah, there's one of those imprints to the left of Herc right now.
I think we looked at that one.
Yeah. Pretty cool though. In the Lee Marsh paper, it looks like they used side scan on an AUV. They were able to map it out that way.
The one we're looking at now looks a little smoothed over, so maybe an old pit where sediment has started to fill in.
Yeah. Pretty deep, 3,200 meters.
Thought maybe that would be a pile left by the whale, but
What we've seen in some other ones where they dig in, they're obviously pushing sediment out and up. So those sediment piles in the front may be a result of that trough near us, and then it's getting piled up in front of it.
Is there any evidence that they would need some kind of nutrient from the sediment itself? Like,
I think they're just chasing squid.
Yeah.
And using maybe the seafloor to trap them, because if they're chasing them down there, they're just going to hit, and then they are able to eat them. That's my thought.
Yeah.
let's see, which way are we headed here?
East.
East.
That's an easy one.
You want to fly for a while?
Sure.
Ow. Make sure you mute next time. You didn't mute.
Oh, it's cold over here. I don't see how you sit here in a t-shirt.
Keeps me awake.
Totally.
All right, you're right underneath. Everybody's heading east.
Oh,
Watch out for that fish.
Beaked whales are a species that have been impacted by sound pollution at depths, like during military activities that have caused loud sounds at depths have shown to have adverse effects on deep diving species that may make a radical move towards the surface and basically causing the bends, you know, instead of coming up in a safer speed. And so beaked whales, sperm whales have both been shown around the world to have strands in areas where activities had occurred. I don't know if that's happening anywhere locally, but worldwide.
I see what that clever Ben has done. This graph is Argus Herc history. He's put them both on the same page. One's blue and one's
blue and yellow.
then the one below it.
What's the bottom red one? Red trend line.
Vertical velocity.
Oh, so that's cleaned up from compared to before.
Totally cleaned up. He's done something with a derivative on there to. That's sweet.
Bridge nav.
15-minute history.
Add one more step, 100 meters east. Thank you.
So you all have just a few more days in your season, is that right?
Yeah. Single
The
digits
25th?
now.
Not all of us are done so soon.
Yeah, we have, there's a cruise
Benthic communities.
Yeah, benthic communities, biomes.
It's south, right? It's near
It's in Channel Islands. I think
Channel
looking
Islands.
some biopharmaceutical potential is definitely one of the objectives, if I remember right. And then there is after that a 1 month long mapping cruise to end the season.
Are you on for that, Rennie?
I am not. It's the one cruise I'm not on.
That would be the whole season for you, right?
Yeah, I think probably best I'm not on it.
How many days will that be for you? Did you count?
Yeah, including quarantine, and then I did some surveying with the new CPath antenna position. I think it's like 100.
Oh, Mark,
105, which is like I normally do 140, 130, 140, 130. So it's less days, but it's all straight in a row. Which is
Mark stays the whole time too?
Yeah, he normally does, unless we have a long mapping thing in the middle of the season, and he'll get off. Mark is off for the mapping cruise at the end, though. So.
Oh yeah, so he's
there's
demobbing and then.
Yeah.
No substitute for Mark.
Nope.
One man show.
Yeah. Crazy.
Erica, are we seeing some kind of double wide Holothurians, or was that something else?
I'm sorry if you what the subject was. I missed what you said.
There looks like some kind of super wide sea cucumbers. Did you see those?
Oh, super wide. I thought you were thinking of a trailer, like a double wide.
Well, I did say
That's
double wide, but
okay. They are cucumbers. They're really flat, and we let me see if I can tell you what they are. We've seen them before. Hold on.
I saw one of them doing the dance in the water column a little bit ago, but it might have been in a weird camera that wasn't visible.
I don't know if I double tap the altitude yet. So
I
don't know.
think I saw you do it.
I think I did. Just be aware if you engage it, it might.
I just double tapped it, so I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes if you don't do the quick double, if you don't leave it on for a minute, it still wants to drive you down. I just mentioned it, so if you do push it, you'll know what to expect when it's going down rapidly.
Yep.
Slamming you into the mud.
These purple flat cucumbers, not necessarily the pink ones, but the purple ones are either Paleopodides or Benthodides. The pink ones, I think, are also Benthodides, different species. But we have seen them here before. And they tend to be the really deep cucumbers, 2,000 meters and greater, that we've seen them at here.
So at this depth and this speed, I'd try to keep a little bit tighter tether than we normally do. That way you have more time to, if you want to stop and look at something.
Okay.
Not so tight where you can't
move
around, but definitely tighter than we usually do.
So right now we're making our way over to a cone-like structure that we're hoping holds some promise for brooding octopus. We might get there in another hour or so, maybe a little longer up on the cone. And we'll be searching around for these vent structures where there might be seeping warm water and brooding octopus. One can only hope. But right now we're just traversing through soft sediment. We're seeing things like sea cucumbers. I think I see some xenophyophores, which are single cellular animals that are covered in cemented sediments that they use as their test. Maybe some anemones, and I've seen some benthic jellies, little red jellies going through called benthocodon. And I'm surprised we haven't seen any yet, but because they do come in droves sometimes. So we've seen a couple so far.
I don't think I knew that the xenophyophores were single-celled.
Yeah, it's amazing. They have multi-nucleus inside, but just one cell.
Oh.
And they cover themselves with this cemented sediments that serve as their test. They're crazy looking things.
Pycnogonid. Yes. That's that sea spider right there.
White guy?
Go scare Dan.
Huh?
Gotta get a zoom on that to go scare Dan. Get closer to it. This is my favorite. They're massive.
Oh yeah, that thing's looks like it's gonna jump on you.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
You can zoom,
Dave.
Steve.
Their organs, I believe, are in their legs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of them are, yeah.
Really?
There's
Those
not much body. Once
skinny little legs?
you get closer to it, you'll see there's not much body. Nowhere for things to be.
Why would I have the urge to stomp on it? It looks like a subsea daddy long legs.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Is that its body or is it got a shrimp?
Oh, it's
The center part is its body. Do you see another structure on it?
The reddish bit to the. I feel like we might be watching a slow speed chase between the spider and the cucumber.
mm-hmm.
That would be the slow and the furious.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Saw one earlier. Was hoping we would get one when we had time to zoom.
Benthocodon.
How do those spiders reproduce? Do they have eggs that they pack around with them, or?
They do have eggs.
Oh
Well-
no, cutting out.
Yeah, you're cutting out, Erica.
Oh,
We want to hear this
how about?
explanation.
That's good.
Okay,
Little
so
pause
I'll
seems to help
speak
sometimes.
slow. So the females will lay their eggs and the male follows her and gathers them up into little balls and carries them on their legs until the young emerge.
What? That's
Yeah.
insane.
So dad has to pack the
Dad is
kids
slave.
around so they're ready to.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, then do the kids eat one of their parents? I just felt like the story was going in that direction. No.
I don't
Pretty
have
dark.
that written anywhere. It is
Bridge now.
Halloween coming up.
Sorry, I just missed catching that one.
Or you don't pull it quite so tight, you won't get the
Yeah.
backlash.
And then I get my own dust storm, I think.
Yeah, the rubber band visibility.
Sorry, my fault.
There's probably still quite a bit of mud in the gradient from doing the core sample. The disadvantage of having a cookie cutter on the bottom of the vehicle.
What would be an advantage? It doesn't, you know, less resistance for water to.
Oh, it's just convenient to mount stuff on.
Yeah.
And it's doesn't bend, so when we scraping the bottom of vehicle on rocks and stuff, you know, or land it, protects all the gear in there.
Yeah. There's a Umbellulo maybe?
Without it, it would be severely bent and damaged under there, you know. All those delicate cables and compensation lines. But
Yeah, I think we did pass Umbellula.
A C-pin.
Ghostly looking Tina-4 there, I think. Unless it's a jelly, I can't tell. Like a TIE fighter. Shadow.
So that clear looking jelly is a low bait Tina-4.
that one without tentacles or with? There's two different kinds, right?
We,
Basic kinds.
I don't know the answer to that.
There's tentacles and no
This is
tentacles. And
Yeah, maybe the low bait doesn't have those long tentacles coming off of it. They're just
this
like
a
the
little
little
squid
wings.
rolling along the bottom.
I missed it.
So
Looks like it might have.
probably keep going by. There's really a lot of stuff down here.
I don't think we've seen the pen close up out here in the mud.
There's a lot of bioturbation here, like little mounds.
Looks like we have our next two scientists queuing up to take the next shift. I'm never quite ready to give up a shift. When 4 hours comes, I think I've stayed up at least 2 to 3 extra hours after each of these. Wanting to see what's next.
These guys are worth a zoom, probably, if you got time.
Yeah, that'd be great. So we've seen the sea star before. I'll get a name in a second. It's a big one.
Is the thing on the right with the dark one, was that an anemone or what type of urchin? Or neither?
I'm not sure. I'll have to see it again.
Dust cloud. The one,
So
That
one
was
that
behind
your,
sea
it.
star is
This is okay.
that was your port horizontal, I think.
Oh.
So that sea star is either called Pteraster or Hymenaster. It's undecided at the moment.
Stalked crinoid, or is it an umbellula or something else?
I think it's a umbellula.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's a stock crinoid, is he?
Stalked coral, I think, right?
Yeah.
It's a sea pen. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
pretty.
That's a beautiful look at it.
And right below it is one of those xenophytophores, those single cell organisms
That still
covered
just
in sediment.
blows my mind that that's a single cell.
Yeah.
Well, and that most forams are microscopic, really.
Nice pirouette, Jake.
thank you. Working on it.
Hmm. Taking advantage of the current, I see.
So in a few minutes, we're going to do a watch change. So you might hear some shuffling of people and going silent for a little bit. I want to thank everybody in the control van and on the shore for joining us tonight and helping us out so much to get those collections and making good progress along the way to get where we ultimately want to be, which is this cone coming up, so that we can hopefully find some octopus. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, and thanks for your patience.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a great watch.
Yeah,
Shift.
great watch for sure.
Is this our last dive together?
It is. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure,
Yeah,
really.
it's been a great team.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it has. Thank you guys so much, and hope to work with you in person.
Yeah, I hope so.
Till next
Sounds
time.
good.
Till next
And we'll
time.
be watching you the next few days because we'll still be on Science Chat watching you in Southern California. So enjoy those days too.
Great.
Thank you.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks again.
absolutely.
When does this dive end again? It's 8 o'clock in the morning?
I think it's at 8. Oh no,
It
sorry.
got extended
12.
to noon.
I think we'll come up a little shy of noon just because we have that Argo float.
Oh, noon. That's right.
We're on
How
deck.
could I forget that? Yeah. Or the pit crew again.
So that ship move has come to a stop, and they are going to be going north, I think, from this upslope. So
If you stop the ship now, it might stop moving by
yeah, by the time.
shift change.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
Oh,
It'll
yeah,
keep
there we
moving for
go.
10 minutes. I hear the click of the door. Pitter patter of little feet.
Yeah, Chad just got on. All right, folks. Thanks for everything.
Thanks
Thank
again,
you. Have a
ladies.
good
It's been
evening.
fun.
Yeah, it has. Bye.
Oh, that's a really cool movement.
Oh, is that your spider again?
Wonk, wonk. Oh, yeah, that one's midwater.
You guys
Oh,
know
look
Even
at him
scarier.
jamming. I didn't know I could swim.
Coming
Even
for
scarier.
you.
I have nightmares now for days.
Can we zoom?
They totally swim.
Eh,
Or are they
he's,
changing? He's changing over.
Just get closer to him. It's better to get closer than to zoom.
that is, seems like he's coming at me.
Yeah.
Oh, in the mud.
I better zoom out ahead for shift change.
Yeah.
I'd run it out a little more so we have time to la-di-da shift change.
Roger.
Run it out, stuff it in the mud, wreck the viz, and then get out of the chair and walk away.
Hello. Flat and muddy right now.
That's Dan signing off.
All right, this is Chad on SPO. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Chad. How's it going?
It's going. Got a little nap in. How about you guys?
Yeah, same here.
Hi, Chad. This is Gary.
Hey, Gary. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
All right, hanging in there. I just got a little debrief from Erica, so we're a little ahead of schedule, which is good. So if there's any collections or Zooms you want to make, Gary, don't hesitate to call out. We just wanted to make sure that we got through this whole series of features on the seafloor in time. So we still have some room if there's interest in any collections and what have you. But we'll head up
Okay, sounds
north.
good. Let's do it.
Along this cone we're approaching the base of. And, you know, I had assumed that this cluster of rocky outcrops were too close to the seamount, maybe even part of the base of the seamount itself, that they would not be areas of outflow. But most of the outcrops on the western side that are far enough away were kind of by themselves, very solitary. So it didn't make sense to spend a long dive hopping, you know, a kilometer or two between these features. It'd be a lot of transit over mud. So this has been good for corals and sponge characterization, for sure.
All right, so it sounds like we've got Chad and Gary on with us, and we're all just getting settled in here. I think we're about ready to get started.
Yep.
Yeah, just let us know.
So we're going to start going upslope to 812.
Yeah, we can do the same. We can do the same thing we did last shift. Is kind of more take the
slope,
the ridge there. Yeah.
Sweet.
Great.
All right, I'm going to start us on 005, and I may bring us more to 010 over time, but we'll see.
005, Rog.
I'm going to do 40. It's okay. All right.
Roger that.
Yeah, they were doing 0.5 knots, but we can take our time.
Yeah, no, they're on the flat.
Yeah, exactly.
And going down slope. We'll be marching up slope for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be about 700 meters to the summit. Be a little more.
Okay. What's the distance that first, these like kind of first slopey contours? It looks like only 100 meters.
Where it gets, oh yeah. Yeah, maybe 170 right now, but give or take.
Okay. And those contours are offset by?
Annie was saying 50, but we were seeing 100. So I'm trying to just look at the color.
Roger that.
Maybe close. Yeah, so all the base maps, all the colored base maps and backscatter and slope are good in place. The contours, for whatever reason, when we import them into the high pack, are not projected correctly, and it's pretty much just fixed 100-meter offset in the contours. So definitely won't be too much of a problem for us as we go up this slope. Not much. Yeah. but none, that translation won't hurt us too much, but it's something to be aware of when you're looking at high pack.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, when I talked to Jennifer a little bit earlier, and they were having the same issue where they thought they were in flat areas, they were in rocky areas.
But it looks like every watch since 4 to 8 has done really good. Maybe despite some stress, they've gone through the whole thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Heard there were whale scour marks a little, like 250 meters west of us.
Yeah, Erica said beaked whale scour marks.
Super cool.
Really cool.
As in a whale scour marks, or?
No, I think it's like beaked whales that scour into the bottom. Is that true?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, where they're taking their bodies and or jaws and scouring, scooping into the sediment.
Yeah.
That's an interesting behavior.
I know. I think Lee actually had looked at data from Nautilus to examine if they're there's even evidence they might be taking ballast, you know, like literally scooping heavy,
mud.
Yeah, or whether it's some cleaning thing or what.
Yeah, that's interesting. Really want to do a zoom on that sombrero?
Yeah, come here.
Cool.
All right, go ahead and come wide. Also, where my camera at?
Those always remind me of those Arm & Hammer scrubbing bubbles that had little faces on them. Come out and clean your whole bathtub for you.
I'm going to keep them. Yeah. Yeah. Which is completely correct. relative to the contours. So so that slope is still probably 250.
Thanks, Kim. Chad, you guys find anything interesting so far on the previous dives? Any sense of an octopus garden?
No indications of that.
Raj.
Yeah, that's one of those things where definitely wanted to look for seeps, but I also wanted to cover a lot of ground in this dive that's a little bit shorter than originally planned. And so kind of went with this cluster that was close to the base of the seamount, knowing that it might be too close because a lot of these low temperature ridge flank hydrothermal systems, the outcrop tends to be several miles or kilometers away from the base of the seamount itself, because the seamount is kind of the source of the water. Then it travels underneath sediment caps, kind of in the top of the crust, and then will come out in these areas where the pressure is relieved. So this might be kind of attached to the seamount itself or part of the base of the seamount. So it may not be far enough away to have that phenomena happen. But of course, we've only found 2 spots, which is more than a lot of areas. I have a feeling that they're all over the place. It's just a matter of getting to survey all of them. And a lot of these outcrops are so far apart that it would be kind of ridiculous to spend a 16, 20, 24-hour dive trying to hop across these features that are kilometers apart on the seafloor, where you're just going over mud just to get to the next outcrop.
Saw an interesting return in sonar, but I don't see anything.
Herc sonar?
Yeah. So Chad, on your timetable, towards the end of our shift, do you want us to be able to have summited? What's the expected time for
12.
you? 8:12.
Yeah, so let's see, that time is noon. So what's the pull time? 8 something?
It's 4:15.
I think this dive is going until noon. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, we're going till noon, so
Yeah.
we'll probably be off bottom 9. Is that a predatory tunic head that got dislocated?
started. That was earlier. That's what that is.
UPS crane.
Yeah. Well, there's like little
Oh.
blips in sonar there, so I'm
Yeah.
wondering what we're...
Not that good here.
Hopefully there's nothing more with it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing that, we're down here 2 miles deep, way off the coastline, and this is like, I don't know, the 5th or 6th piece of man-made debris that this dive has come across.
That's a bummer.
Shopping cart.
Marley, you want to zoom in?
Yeah. This looks like something that came off a ship.
Yeah, it looks like something that, held fish or something that was draining.
Looks like there's another something coming up in 10 meters.
Yeah.
Weird.
Keep our eyes peeled.
Yeah, on the other ships, I saw them come across those aluminum foil disposable, baking trays you put lasagnas in. There's a couple of those. There was an old soda or beer can with the vintage pull top on it. They didn't zoom in close enough to find out what it was, but
Here's another one of those.
So that's why the returns were so
Oh.
hard, because they're metal.
Wow.
Now we're going to do another quick zoom here. Kind of looks like an ashtray from like a furnace to me. Probably not what it is, but that's what it reminds me of.
Reminds me of something I bought at IKEA.
I was going to say, it kind of reminds me of like a file box in an office, like I don't know.
You were saying they use these for sieves or something, or sample collection?
Yeah, it's interesting. With all those holes, you expect something's draining through that metal basket.
It looks like we're starting to come into our relief. Amanda joining us tonight, or is it
Gary Williams is on.
Gary, Raj?